Okay, so let's talk about adding story to our character. So we have been doing this in all the lectures that we did before this, is adding a little bit of story. I indicated that some of these elements, like the metal pieces, I changed it. Some of these I kept cleaner. Some of these I added more scratches or less scratches to. Most of those things are a bit indication that you're adding a little story to your character. By that, I mean that's something not many people will notice if you do that, but that's something that makes texturing part more interesting from your side, and it makes it more interesting for the viewer if he can browse through his eyes to different element and he can see that the character has lived in a world and it exists someplace. So for some of the examples, we added the damage. So he might be fighting some things or getting damages in his cloth. That's what he has. His metal pieces that are a bit darkish, not dark, it's a bit black dark, making him look a bit more stealthy. Most of his combinations are grayish. I can make the jacket even more gray to completely dedicate myself to the stealth element. Previously I had the color a bit orange, yellowish. That kind of felt like the element which you see on industrial vehicles. So maybe that's where he was constructed in. That's something I wanted to tell through my texture. Another thing you can do is go in, add some stickers here and there, which basically can tell some of the pieces are damaged, some of the pieces have electricity in them. Another element that I tried to add is this camouflage. Maybe this creature or character was made in military using construction part, which are not here anymore. The same thing we discussed about this element. The reason I wanted to keep it scratchless is maybe this pulls out and goes in again, so he might not be taking as much damage or replacing it. That is what I mean by adding story to your character. Always look out for opportunities where you can tell story of your character through your texture. You usually try to tell a story through your sculpt as well, but sculpt being mainly secondary and primary details, you kind of lack the elements like these. Plus, having the freedom of adding color while texturing, you can add color on your sculpt as well. So this might also reflect on, so this can also be applied there as well, but color usually have an effect on the viewer that sees your character. So that brings me to the same thing. If most of his elements were grayscale, it would have given you guys a look, maybe he was a stealth guy. If some of his elements are pretty saturated red, pretty saturated yellow, he might be someone sponsored by McDonald's, who knows. So texturing is a part of your production pipeline that gives you so much freedom to enjoy all the pain that you have done before and finally put it all together. So never miss an opportunity to tell a story through your character.